Pez moving it.
Okay. Okay. South Park when you were walking.
Oh, Pez, yeah, it's Pez.
You guys were kidding.
There's times like that.
That's, it's fun, you know, it's ready, it's synced, it's good.
Yeah, legs are really nice, having a good time. Jamie went down on Thursday.
His house is
And
nice.
it was fast, you know, stiff as a ball. Maybe I should just, yeah, that's all. 100% go.
Well, let me go find my first.
Kristen Turner, then we're gonna have to hold darn sure wages for a 12-year-old.
Okay, it is now 5 o'clock. I'm gonna call the August 28th board meeting to order. And if we could stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have roll call, please?
Mrs. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Moats?
Here.
Mrs. Irwin? Here. Mr. Bangle?
Here.
Mr. Wall?
Here.
Mr. Morton?
Here. Our presentation people aren't here yet, so you wanna move right on to Mrs. Swisher?
Yes, and then we'll interrupt you right in the middle of that, Cheryl.
They're at volleyball practice.
Are they? That's fine.
Okay.
So financial reports for July 24, that's what we're gonna start our discussion with.
Okay. Did anybody have any questions regarding the, reports as presented? One of the things I like to point out is the bar graph for the monthly balance report. You can see that this year we're starting out higher than we ended, the previous year and the highest that we've had for the last 5 years. So we're going in a positive direction that way, so. Next thing I have is, our gap statements are available for inspection. I attached them there. It's about a 60-page document, that you can peruse on your leisure, but it has all of our,
When does that contract with those guys end again? Is that another year?
with, which one? Julian Group. So we have them for 2 different contracts. They do these statements, and I believe we're in our second of 3 or 5. I have to
I don't
check.
remember what it was either.
I think it's 5.
And then because the audit, is also a different division of LGS, and that contract's actually with the Auditor State's Office. And I think we have 2 years left with them on that, so, but that's determined by the Auditor State who they select to have us do that, so. Any other questions on that? It's coming to that time of year where we're gonna start participating in, receiving bids for, purchases of buses and vans. The first one that came up was Ohio School Council, and it's just the consortium. Later in the year, I'll bring you Meta. Ohio School Council does theirs a little different. They do a spring and a fall. And right now, I've met with Mr. Morton and we discussed the needs of the district, and he asked me to put on 2 transit vans. So this is not an authorization to purchase them. It is simply an authorization to participate in the bid process with Ohio School Council, so that if Mr. Morton did decide that we needed those 2 vans, that we would be able to move forward and bring that back to the board for approval or purchase.
These are microbus that they call transit vans. They're not true transit vans. They're look like microbuses, but they're painted white and they don't have any stop signals or school bus labeling on them, so you don't have to have a CDL to drive those.
You have both school buses.
Yeah.
All right, so when we return to your report, we're gonna go back to 3.3 on the third-party agreements for title services. Okay, now we're going to go back up to public presentations. And we have Ellie Stack and Emma Tackett here to talk to us about DECA's Veterans Honor Wall project.
Where do you want them, Mr. Director?
By the table. You want me to give them a copy? Want a copy for them? You got them?
Yep, got it.
Okay, hello. We just wanted to talk to you guys about this project for a little bit. So we're going to be doing an honor wall to honor the veterans and active duty that have graduated from Defiance High School.
We've researched our local area and realized that we are one of the only schools around here who do not have a recognition wall for those who have gone on to serve our country.
We also believe that it's very important to educate the community and the youth in our school about the importance of the military and just give them all the recognition that we can offer. We really don't have anything else. It was just kind of information to tell you guys what was going on. we're getting ready to send out some emails for donations so we can work with the community and get this up and hopefully unveil it during the Veterans Day Assembly this year, so.
And your hopes are to put it where, ladies?
It's gonna go right in the corner by the high school gym where the current, the TV is currently at for like the.
Hall of Fame?
Yes.
So that they will be moving that TV elsewhere.
So we're partnering with Rob Hill and BSN. They're gonna have a wall laminate on both walls. So kind of like the Hall of Fame that you see out here for the academic boosters, the same type of wall cover. It will have all of the branches. It will have a plastic sleeve in there, so as the years go by, you can add people. And in case they miss somebody, they can go back and edit that as well. We will move the Athletic Hall of Fame touchscreen. Hey, I talked to Jerry, we'll move that, but we thought that'd be a good location because of the traffic in and out of the gym.
So if you're a veteran that graduated from DHS, they need to what, submit their names to who?
We have created a form and it's through the DECA chapter, so it's on Google Forms and we've both, along with many others, shared it to our social medias and it's just pretty self-explanatory. It just asks the year of graduation, what branch you entered, and then there's also, if you want to talk about if they're a relative.
Oh yes, if their relative, say they're like in active duty at the moment, their relative is able to fill out this form as well and just do that information for them since they are not able to.
And when they created this flyer, they sent this over to our office to be approved, to be distributed amongst our website and the district level social media as well. And I'm sure you'll have things for people to sign up at or post it around the school at events, etc.
Yeah.
How much money are you trying to raise? What is your estimate on what your project's gonna cost?
We're thinking around 5,000 right now.
Okay.
That's the estimate right now.
So, good.
Has there been any thought to like maybe contacting AMVETS, VFW and letting them know?
Yes, we have contacted them about it, and this is kind of how we decided that we were gonna do the form, because there's no list that names what year they graduated and if, like, where they served. So that's why we decided to go with the form route, and then we also plan to hang some flyers around town and in like our local restaurants so that people see it. We're gonna link a QR code to that form so that it's easily accessible for them to fill it out.
We will also be at the Salina football game having a table out for anybody to pass by who haven't seen the form to sign their names, give us all of their information. And once the wall is up for around the first few years, we're gonna put a QR code up by the wall so that form is still able to give us more names.
And at the end, then, it would be awesome to have as many people whose names are on the wall participate in that Veterans Day Assembly.
Yes.
So we would invite all of them on that Monday.
I think it's a fantastic idea.
Thank you.
Thank you for undertaking it.
Thank you, yeah. It was actually a student, she's an upcoming, well, she's a junior this year, it was her idea. And it's Katie McDonald. She already had a plan for her project, and she asked if anybody would be interested, and we jumped on it right away, because we both think that it's very valuable and important to do.
And she has aspirations of possibly serving in the military, does she not?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
She's very excited about it too. So.
That's awesome. Again,
Good
thank
luck,
you for
ladies.
doing it.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank you
for
so
sharing.
much. So much.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
and now you can leave and go back to volleyball, so
Okay,
you
yes,
change real
yes,
fast.
Okay, when you're ready. Oh, yes, we do.
John, girls.
Thank you.
You want us to give those out?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Cheryl, we're gonna go back and pick up 3.3 here, third-party agreement for Title I services.
Just one thing that more I want to mention on number 3.2 is that we are still doing the modified cash basis accounting, which means that we're producing the accrual accounting as well as the cash accounting, but the cash accounting is what is being audited. So if we ever want to go back to full accrual where it's audited on full accrual, that's something that we need to look at if that's the board's intention. But as of right now, I'm still doing the cash basis, so it saves the district between $12,000 and $15,000 a year.
It doesn't cost more to do that.
In this report, it saves money, and then also in the audit report, it saves money, because they're not auditing all of the accrual. We never use accrual accounting in our business, we do all cash-based. So, if there's ever anyone who wants to have a discussion or anything to change that, again, that's a board decision, so. Next one is the, third-party agreements, or I'm sorry, no, oh yeah, the third-party agreement, sorry. We have 6 this year with area school districts, with, St. John's Lutheran and Holy Cross. Basically, they get money through their CCIP grant, and then we bill them for the services that our employee provides. So there's no cost to the district in doing this, and it gives our employees, more hours to work, which then makes us get better employees because they're not just working 2 hours a day. I think we talked about Ohio School Council. I have a then and now PO 250411. That is for maintenance items that were purchased over the summer. I believe it was in Menards. Lowe's. So a lot of it, I think, when I talked to John Mays about it was, painting, and that kind of stuff, and projects that we were doing over the summer, so that we didn't know we had planned until after they were done, so. Last one I have is student activities. We have a budget and objective for the elementary coffee cart, middle school student council, and high school student council. And that is also in the consent agenda.
Alright. So, we have an action item on 4.1 to approve the financial report for July. Do I have a motion to do so?
I'll make the motion.
A second,
I'll second.
and no discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Moats,
Yes.
Mr. Wall,
Yes.
Mrs. Everlin.
Yeah.
Mr. Bagel.
Yes.
Mrs. Davis.
Yes. And then we also need a motion to approve, 4.2, the participate and authorize the Ohio School Councils to advertise, receive bids on our behalf for school vehicles.
I'll move on 4.2.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? We'll take a roll call on that.
Mrs. Everlin.
Yes.
Mr. Bagel.
Yes.
Mr. Wall,
Yes.
Mrs. Davis.
Yes.
Mr. Moats.
Yes.
Mr. Morton, you are up.
All right, let's fire away. Hey, just a reminder, no school this coming Monday. It is Labor Day. We are back here on September 11th for a board meeting. You want to mark your calendars for the band spectacular. The BGSU Fighting Falcons Marching Band is coming in. It's the feature band this year. About 130 members in that marching band. It's a large band. Excellent musicianship. I do not know the other high school bands that are coming other than our band, of course. Support staff recognition dinner is at 6 p.m. at the Defiance Elementary Auditorium. We had it there the last couple of years. We're back here on the 25th. Then Mr. Gerger is going to be having a bonfire and a snake dance and a parade on the September 26th at the stadium. That's for students and parents, and they play a lot of games out there. Mr. Gerger Mr. Gerger is also the MC of that event in the evening. So, and then just 2 short nights later, he'll be dancing his night away at the homecoming dance here at Defiance High School from 7:30 to 11 p.m. So once you get started, it happens fast. So any questions on upcoming dates? Item 5.2, parcel BO 14183008811, which is also known as 1925 South Jefferson, which is the property adjacent to the maintenance property we purchased. I'm going to ask that you give me, authorize me to negotiate for a purchase agreement with the property owner, and that is an action item. Does anyone have any questions on that parcel or that piece of property? Okay, hearing none. Something important, roots analysis, service agreement with ESC. We've partnered with ESC on roots analysis for the last 2 years. They have a new treasurer this year, so they sent us a service agreement to partner with them instead of just billing us for it. Just probably a new way of doing business. What roots analysis is that it takes all of our data from every one of our students on state assessments, and then the younger kids, some of our iReady data, compiles all of it into one place so that those people over there have the ability to go to one location and look up and provide interventions for children that are struggling, or enrichment for children that are moving on. It also gives us a data point from 1 year to the next where we can go. I'm gonna ask for that in the consent agenda as well. Actually, no, it's an action item itself. So does anyone have any questions on that? It's $3,500. This is only the third year that the ESC has offered this. We approached them. We were the first school district that they were able to get off the ground running. Once they got it figured out for us, it was easier to do it for everyone else. So now they offer it to everyone. I do not know if everyone takes advantage of it, but it's something that I know there's an administrative side of it where we can see actual teacher performance, individual teacher performance. And then there's a teacher side as well where they can go in and look at their student performance. So I think it's worth it.
And do I understand, Bob, that this will also be part of, we can use this in our curriculum?
Oh, 100%.
Moving forward.
I would say Mrs. Hench will probably spend a great deal of time reviewing that and going over it with the principals and what she sees coming out of it. Absolutely. So, any questions? Administrative reports, Mrs. Davis.
Yeah, just a short one, guys. I gotta just stand up and just give us a quick view of how your opening went. You don't have to give us all the little details from what you wrote, but just tell us how great it was.
Mr. Moser, why don't you go first?
Opening day went great. Right now we're starting with 3 kids, and 2 of them are seniors finishing up their credits. And
And you're smoking meat, right?
yeah, you like those pictures? Yeah. We have
He
some
brought
for
it-
kids.
He brought in, showed him how to make some
That's right.
delicious
I
treats.
won't try that.
Tailgate, yeah, pig shooters.
Mrs. Helps.
All good at the elementary, K2. We started kindergarten this week, so if I look tired, that's why. I got a few runners, but we'll get them. Don't worry.
Teresa.
We're doing really well too, starting off. Our open house was at 92%, and that's pretty good for 3-5. I think that's the highest that we've had since I've been there. The staff is feeling a little bit of challenge. Our theme this year is if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you, which is what it was last year, but I added to it, and change takes time, because I want everyone to know, have grace with yourself, because you're learning 2 curriculums, and have patience with yourself, and 3rd grade is going to self-contain, and 4th grade went to 2-man, and 5th grade stayed 3-man, or 4-man. So a lot of changes that I think will be in a positive way, but I've got a lot of teachers who hold themselves way up to here, and my expectations are high, but not that high, so it's like, it's okay, you know.
Let them stay there.
Yeah, I know, but, yeah, so we're doing really good though.
Mr. Carr.
It's a good start. We welcomed 174 new 6th graders to the building this past week, along with a lot of other new faces in the building. I think our enrollment seems like we've got a lot of new kids this year, but good start. Traffic seems to be moving pretty well out front. Usually it takes a few days, but it seems like parents are getting the drop off pretty well. So very pleased with the beginning of the school year.
Mr. Gerger.
Echo what everyone else is saying, great start. Next Saturday, the 7th, is the DECA senior parking spots where they go out and paint. Last year they had 35, they're projected to get about 50 this year, and the new thing is staff can buy parking spots and paint. We've sold 4 of them already.
And where will they be painting their spots?
Well, they get to paint out back, or they can paint on the side. This out here, we're not painting because that's first come, first serve. So,
What day and time spot?
the 7th.
What time?
Good question. Who knows? But they come out here, they
All day.
grill.
It's all
They
day.
got music going. Parents are out here. It's a fun day. So that's all we got.
Okay, thank you.
Sherry and Beth. Beth.
Go ahead, sure. Preschool started out, we are actually starting full in our morning session, which doesn't generally happen, which is a great start for us. The building did get a touch up, and we've gotten a ton of compliments on how the paint has really just kind of livened up the preschool space, and parents, staff, community members that have come in have seen it. It looks really amazing. And then we just did a rundown of our numbers, and we are starting our school year generally right around the area where we start. We have 358 from pre-K, from K to 12 plus students identified with special needs.
And our theme this year for the staff is self-awareness.
I like it. Mrs. Hench.
So as Teresa mentioned, we're rolling out a couple new curriculums and I'm trying to wrap my brain around them and also help support the teachers as they work through that with some additional trainings and making sure they have the resources they need as we dig into the data that Mr. Warren mentioned earlier. So we're getting there.
All right.
And it wouldn't happen without the tech coordinator, Mr. Eckhart.
Thank you. Pretty good start. By the end of the first week, we had 2,400 plus student devices out in students' hands and going. And the beginning of the school year this year was a little more challenging with 16 new teachers we added. So there's 16 new people that need accounts and devices and access to curriculum. Then adding 2 or 3 whole new curriculum sections to the grades. It's a lot to get going on, but it went off pretty well. Very, very good start.
Awesome.
The only thing I want to echo is to all of these people, I sit uptown, they do all the work. I couldn't have asked for a better start to the school year. Their efforts should not go unnoticed. They say it went smooth. That it went smooth because of their preparation and what they did. The only thing that I organized was having the marching band and the cheerleaders at the schools when they came in. That was my role, and I called Mark, every day for about a week straight and said, Mark, are we good on busing? Yep. Asked John, we got all of our yep. You people need anything? No. And I said, all right, Mrs. Booth, Mrs. Morton, get the cheerleaders and the band to the schools, and then that was it. So great job, people. Appreciate your efforts, and I know it's not easy, and especially when you're bringing brand new little kids to school for the first time, and parents are a little anxious, but it's really interesting watching first and second grade moms and dads drop their kids off versus third, fourth, and fifth grade, because the third, fourth, and fifth grade parents are smiling when they walk away, and the other ones maybe have some tears in their eyes, and I'm like, I know where you're coming from, people, but it's good. So great job, people, getting everything started.
Yes, thank you for all you do for Defiance City Schools. It is appreciated, greatly appreciated. All right, now you're off the hook. Now, if you want to leave, you may, or you can stay. It's up to you. Look at them go. They've had a long day. They're ready to go. Okay, so we're going to move on here with 6.1, Superintendent's action item. Any discussion on this, negotiating the purchase agreement for that property? Being none, I'd like a motion to.
Motion made.
Chris? Okay. Can we have roll call, please?
Mrs. Overland?
Yes.
Mr. Moots?
Yes.
Mrs. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Wall?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
And the second item we need to have board approval on is that ESC risk analyst, and this is really crucial to our district and helping us move forward with our students. Any other discussion on that?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Okay, Wes?
I'll make second.
Nothing for, yeah,
I
question.
was just gonna, didn't think to ask earlier, so will they study all this throughout the whole school year?
So what they'll do, Chris, is they'll take, basically, as soon as we give them the authorization, there's one gentleman by the name of Mike Altman. He then gets permission to get into all of our data and access it. They compile this all. I'm gonna say, I'm hopeful maybe by the end of September, we'll have it all finished. Sherry, is that a reasonable, that's kind of how you did it last year. Then administratively, we will all go over it. We brought Mike in and had him go over it with us before. And then we, building principals, then go back to departments. Beth will look at it and say, okay, in our English language arts or our mathematics, these are some gaps that we're seeing. Where are we missing them? Start going back into grade levels or departments or whatever, and see where that is, where the gaps are being missed. Look at the instructional techniques that are used with our new curriculum. How does that align? And it's hopeful with time that this then helps you identify the areas that you're missing over time, and it helps support teachers, because a teacher will go in there and work their tail off, but if they're just missing one little critical point, it could make the whole house, crumble right underneath of them, and they may not know they're missing that one little critical piece of it, and it helps you identify those. So.
Yeah, and as I understand it, Bob, even though we've had this available to us, Sherry has been spread very, very thin the last couple of years. So that's why it was really critical and very good that we were able to hire Beth as our curriculum director to get some of that off, and then everybody can focus more on what they need to be focusing on.
Fresh eyes on old problems are a good thing.
Yes, and then with this data, it's going to really help Beth, no pressure Beth, to help us then move forward with what we're doing in our buildings.
Yep,
So,
absolutely correct.
okay.
Good question, Chris.
Yes, thank you.
So, anything else there? We're gonna move on to the consent agenda. I do wanna note that we had
You got a roll call 6-2.
I'm sorry,
Mr.
we don't
Wall?
usually have
Yeah,
discussions.
I know.
Sorry, yeah.
Mr. Wall,
Yes.
Mr. Bagel,
Yes.
Mrs. Oberlin,
Yes.
Mr. Modes,
Yes.
Mrs. Davis.
Yes, well, it's just a good item.
It is.
What can I
It is.
say?
It is.
Okay,
Actually, so when it's up and running, we'll give you a little short demo or presentation of it here when it's up and running, you can see it. And you'll be like, what does all that stuff mean? And we'll be like, oh, that's what the teachers have to look at every day, all day long.
but that's why you have these other people here. They know what they're doing.
Yes.
Okay, so I do wanna point out that we did receive a donation, 120 bags of school supplies from the First Presbyterian Church, valued at $2,400 or $20 a bag. We greatly appreciate that. I'm sure the parents did as well. Do we need anything removed from the consent agenda? If not, we'll take a motion to approve.
I'll move on the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Bagel,
Yes.
Mr. Wall,
Yes.
Mr. Modes.
Yes.
Mrs. Davis,
Yes.
Mrs. Oberlin.
Yes.
All right. Do we have any old business we need to discuss tonight?
I'm not sure if this is old business or new business, but how's the free lunches going? Everybody
Yeah.
excited and
All I know is I went over and had spaghetti on the second day of school and it was delicious. And kids were eating it. I asked him, I saw kids packing. I said, you know, you get free lunch. And he says, I pack my lunch every day of my life. He was in ninth grade. He says, I'm not stopping now. I said, you pack it? He says, no, my mom does. I said, does your mom know there's free lunch? And he says, I'll tell her. So, but I don't know, I haven't checked with Deanna on their quantity and on numbers that they serve, so I don't know. But I know it's very popular, because kids can get their free lunch, they can take their lunch money if they have some, and they can get an extra, they can get a Gatorade, they can get a bag of chips, something, you know, that they prefer, so.
That's awesome. Is that it?
that was it.
Okay. And do we have any new business?
I have one thing, just as an information piece. The auditor of state came out with a new fraud reporting, training that every public employee must take. So I've been working with Ms. Dyer, regarding that. We've been able to put that through Public School Works, but as board members, you are considered employees, so you will have to take that training. It's about 8-minute video. So Mrs. Dyer, we need to get what email you would like us to send that training to. Whether it be your Defiance Schools or your personal email, it doesn't matter. Once you get that email, there'll be a link provided. You'll need to click on that link, log into the system or create an account, correct?
Yes.
And then you'll be able to take that training and then we'll be able to track it. It's every 4 years. And it basically is just more explanation on what fraud is and how you can report it.
And then there's a test afterwards, but the test is, just to let everybody know, the test is just acknowledgement
Yes.
that you have it. So there's no questions that you have.
And you can't take the test until you watch the video.
Right, completely.
Completely.
So-
Yeah, don't click out like a second early, you won't get credit for the video.
I was at a meeting yesterday where they were talking about how do larger districts accomplish this, and I shared how we had been doing it with our regular employees, whatever. What people are struggling with is, you know, they may have a volunteer coach who would also have to do this, or a non-school employee, when I say non-school, a substitute teacher. And what they are going to permit, and I just looked on the website today, they're going to permit group viewing and physical sign-in sheets that are permissible, so.
I think Sherry and I came up with a solution, too, like what we wanna do is we wanna modify that fraud reporting sheet that every employee has to sign off when they
Yeah.
fill out a new hire packet. And that's subs, that's coaches, that's everybody. And then we're gonna try to get them, give us their personal email, and then Sherry will send them the link only because we wanna try to do it in Public School Works so that we can track it.
Right.
Because it has to happen every 4 years, it has to happen within a certain time frame if you hire somebody. Right now, our deadline to take that training is November 29th. So you need to make sure when you get that link from Sherry that you do it before.
Actually, I'm not sure, I didn't get one today, so I was looking.
Well, I got something from an auditor of state's office today that.
That was just a, hey, look, I'm the auditor, here are things that we're doing, you guys are great stewards, but there are people that are not,
But
and you
good
should
job.
be aware,
If
you
you
know?
know, okay.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
let Sherry know whether you want your school email or your personal email, and I have both of those, so I can get her that information.
Yeah.
But just let her know which one, or let me know which one you want it sent to, and we'll get that out to you, and like I said, it's like an 8.5 minute video. Sort of entertaining, but
It's mildly entertaining, you'll enjoy it. I mean, you will.
a lot of good information, so.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to do that under my section, but I forgot.
Let's do it after the meeting.
That's new business.
Yeah.
Let's do business, yes.
I have another question.
Yeah. Is this new business?
It's new business. How's the no phone policy going?
You should have asked those people.
I know, they got up.
Actually, it's, I think it's exceptionally well. I haven't heard any pushback from anyone at this point in time. Andrew, you're in the buildings, Lindsay, you're in the building.
Middle school, my office is in the middle school, so I'm in the hallways, in the cafeteria. And so far this week, I've seen 2 kids with a cell phone. One student was at their locker doing something between class. Hey, I said, put that away. Oh yeah, boom, put it away. And one student yesterday in lunch forgot he had it with him. I said, that's supposed to be in your locker. Oh, I know, and he ran to his locker and put it away. So I've seen 2, that's it.
That's
I don't know about high school, but in middle school, there's been no one in the office because they refuse to put it away. I've seen none out in the hallways, I've seen none in the cafeteria, so at least from a middle school standpoint, I think it's going very well.
Lindsay, you never had them in your classroom anyway, so it's no different for you in your daily
No.
operation.
But because it's a rule, like higher up than a teacher,
Yeah.
I think it's followed a lot better.
Good.
Because before, if
Yeah.
they came from another teacher's room that did allow them, they might still have them in their pockets and
Right.
stuff, so.
Good.
I think there's some kids sneaking them, but I think they're way too afraid to try to get them out.
Yeah. I've done this with a number of students, even some of you, where you actually look at your activity and how many times you picked your phone up today. And I did it yesterday with a student, and her response, pardon my French, was, "Oh my God, I'm on my phone that much. I picked it up this many times." And I said, "Yeah, it's 11 o'clock in the morning too." And, high schooler, but she was awake after midnight, so that started that new day. And so she's like, "Oh," I said, "You need to turn it off or put it on Do Not Disturb." She's like, "I actually at school kind of like not having it as a distraction." High school kids can use them during lunch. They can check them in between class periods. A little more freedom with high school kids. But middle school, I know Matt and Shane, I think they approached the teachers and just said, "None, don't want them, make it easy," so.
Great, thank you.
What's that?
Is that a new policy?
That's state law.
Oh.
Yep, Governor DeWine said no phone in schools, and here, you schools make the policy, so yes, it's a new policy, but they passed legislation. I've had to report back to the state, so you adopted these policies in the student handbooks, and then we will actually, June of '25, adopt an official district policy for it. So we're gonna kind of let it go through the year and see what tweaks need to be made. If this is how we want to go, if we've had good luck with it, then we'll adopt official policy on use of the funds in the buildings. So, okay?
I have nothing else.
That's all right, good question. Anything else for this meeting? Well, that was easy. We have no executive session, so we'll take a motion to.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second. Roll call?
Mrs. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Moats?
Yes.
Mrs. Erland?
Yes.
Mr. Wall?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Time,
5:34.
What?